Now we actually have on a director. So that's going to be great. Very eclectic show today.
Yeah, director, artist as well.
Artiste.
Oh. And he's French. No, he's not, but he could be.
So let's get into another experience. I'm going to have you go first this time for this experience.
First.
I don't care. You're in my show.
Oh.
So
and it is all about your shell.
It is.
But I'm the hare, so I can bounce your shell right out.
So go ahead and tell me your last experience of the show.
All right. Well, as I often talk about, I am a practitioner.
Reiki?
Reiki. And I have an office in Beverly Hills. At the Integrative Wellness Center, Southern California Integrative Wellness Center.
Which, by the way, mention Tortoise and the Hare and get an additional 10% off your Reiki.
That is right. Only if you call 310-999-888. No, it's not.
It's not even the number. Even if you call the wrong number, mention Tortoise and the Hare.
No. What is the number? It's 888-7778. There it is. That's the number. I have too many numbers in my head lately. But, I treat patients over there. And recently I had a gentleman who is a tour manager for a very famous rap band. And he had come to me a long time ago, and I had helped him to quit smoking. And he'd gone back out on tour and started smoking again. So I got this emergency call as I'm treating another patient that he's back in town and he's smoking, and you have to save me because I'm smoking. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to do a house call right now, and I've been working on somebody else all day. How's this gonna work out? Let's see. All right, money, okay. And I have a hard time with even charging patients.
Right.
Because I want to help everybody. I want everybody to be well and on that track. But sometimes, as many artists, especially the artists here at NoHo 2 Studios, we have a lot of amazing art that hangs on the walls, and it's just all over the place. And it is all for sale. So if you come to the studio and you want to buy something, check us out, and some sort of deal could be made.
Yeah.
Danny Hernandez, contact Chris Bono. So anyway, in my experience, I decided that, okay, I'm going to go and make this house call and run over there. And I was so blessed to have done that, because it really is amazing when you can affect somebody. And you walk in and they're feeling terrible, and you make them feel better, and help them to achieve these goals and get away from something that's been holding them down. And so that's been my experience, and I'm on a long track with working with him now.
Cool. Hopefully that's a positive experience.
Yeah, I think so.
My experience was very cool. This was happened a couple days ago. I got a last minute ticket. My friend called me. He's like, dude, you will never believe the tickets that I have, and I want you to come with. And I was like, what do you got? He's like, I have tickets to go see John Williams perform with the LA Phil at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, yeah, I am totally down. So I went to the LA Bowl, and usually I don't go to the LA Bowl only because there's lots of people there. And so not that I have crowd anxiety or anything like that. It's just, I hate stack parking. I hate whoever invented stack parking. Those guys are just, oh man. And but it was just like, okay, I'll go through this experience just to see it. So I went, and it was very cool because I got to see John Williams, and then there was a big screen there, so he was actually conducting the LA Phil with doing live, they did the scene from Indiana Jones, where the that big medicine ball tries to kill him, and so they did it live. And it was completely awesome. Then they broke out some Star Wars stuff, and then they broke out some Pink Panther stuff, and he was just all over the map. But it just made me appreciate that type of scoring for film, and part of me was a little reluctant, only because it's just like I was thinking, like, dude, they really don't do it like this anymore. Whenever there's a film out, they usually give it to one guy and then they piece together a score, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but like I kind of am feeling a little bit romantic about the old days and seeing a whole, concert, being performed to music and stuff. I mean, being performed to a film. So that was my experience. It was very cool, though. Extremely cool.
That's really cool.
I think a friend of mine was at that same show. He was saying something about how John Williams used to be the piano player for Henry Mancini.
Really?
Yeah, it was like it was kind of crazy like that. I love Henry Mancini and John Williams, but that kind of stuff is good.
Yeah.
Experience-wise, I'd have to say last Saturday was pretty big experience. No, Sunday. Sorry, I was driving back on the 5. Went down and the traffic was just terrible. So my friend and I, we said, okay, let's just cut off and go to the Sequoias. And went up 5,000 feet, got out, went hiking about 1.5 miles back into the woods. And as we were coming back, we'd seen these cattle there, and my friend just thought it would be funny. Hey guys, dinner. And he claps, and then the next thing we know, we look over and we hear this huge rustle. And we're staring face to face with a black bear.
Oh.
and we're like, okay, we're 30 yards away from black bear. And I was like, maybe we should
Get
not
out.
run. And I'm like thinking, I think I said that out loud. And suddenly my friend claps again, the bear runs away. I stupidly reach down and grab a rock and am like, it makes me feel safer.
A rock is gonna...
Yeah, it's gonna do anything to the bear at all. And then of course we have another 150 feet to 150 yards to walk to the car. So it was sort of frightening.
It's like shooting at Godzilla.
Exactly.
With a pistol.
Exactly.
Go away, you big bear.
Exactly. I probably would have sounded just like that too.
Right, exactly. I think you could do it better in a Betty Boop voice, though.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Go away, big bear. Oh, that was kind of sexy.
Abram Cox is our guest.
He is right there on the couch.
Yeah, the director that we are currently speaking to. And you direct film, you direct videos as well, correct?
Yeah, I've kind of run a weird gamut. I started off as a storyboard artist, which is drawing the little panels that sort of everybody kind of looks at and goes, oh yeah, we're going to do this shot, and then this shot's going to link to this shot. And depending on the director, it would either be like you'd sit there and design it, or the director would tell you, I want to go from here to here to this over the shoulder, etc. Good training ground. And then went from that into directing early commercials, in 2001. And then after my first or second commercial, got sent over to Eastern Europe to do these B movies, which was kind of awesome because it was sort of like Roger Corman training ground. And then came back and did independent film about 3 years ago called Miss Nobody. We're gearing up right now to do our next couple. I think we're gonna we've optioned one, and now we're about to option another. So it's getting kind of crazy. And then some commercials and music videos in between there. Yeah.
Now, anytime we have a director in here, I always say, are you putting Max in this film?
Actually, it's funny. There's a little blurb I sent her because I've known Max now for a little while, and in I guess it was January of this year, we played Pictionary over at a friend's house. And I went home and I forgot that I emailed myself this, but I realized I did when I was trying to do a search and find what I was needing to send to you, because your email kept bouncing back. But so I got the wrong one, by the way. It was my fault. My fault, everybody. Turtles on top of it. So I sat there, and when I pulled it up, I looked at it and said, Max Wassa, inspiration, lesbian Reiki best friend.
Lesbian, yes. The truth comes out.
And I'm like, I don't know why I made her a lesbian, but maybe it's some subconscious fantasy or something. But it was definitely on the lesbian Reiki best friend.
Yeah, so that's the character you see me playing.
Now make sure to make her fully lesbian, she has to drive a truck. That's what makes her
I
full
love trucks.
lesbian.
I love trucks.
18 wheel.
Yeah.
2 sticks.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
baby.
Right on.
I got to talk like Large Marge or something.
Oh,
you know.
exactly.
No, you could
Tell him Large Marge sent you.
Nice.
No, you could be a lipstick lesbian, maybe.
Could I?
I think you could.
I don't know. Maybe
Maybe-
I am.
Maybe you are. Awesome. Great.
Suddenly you went from not being interested
Yeah.
at the top of the show to being interested at the end of the
Right.
show.
Everything-
You're like,
changes.
whoa, this is kind of hot and bothersome now. I've been sitting next to this lipstick lesbian.
Right. Well, it's not that bothersome because once I find out that they're lesbians, I'm just like, dude, I'll never have you. So it's like, screw you.
Screw you. I'll just fantasize about it.
Yeah. Putting in the fantasy file, you know?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's where I reside.
Do you walk around, constantly going like this, or like do you have one of those cool? And maybe you can just tell me where to find these. You know those cool necklaces that have like a camera attached to it, something you're always like
your viewfinder. You
Is
know,
that what
I actually did have a really nice viewfinder that I'd gotten after a show. And I think I ended up giving it away to charity. Like, I just gave it away to an orphanage.
Because they needed a viewfinder?
yeah.
You know, I gave my entire toy collection to an orphanage.
Whoa.
Actually.
Wow.
I loved.
So now you've gone too far.
I went crazy. I took all my, because I had all the 12-inch Marvel dolls and all the DC dolls and everything like that. And I just got to a point where I was like going, I'm gonna just get giant robots as my next collection anyway. So I might as well just send this whole thing to
kids that are
to
gonna break them.
Mexico. and kids might break them, but at
Oh,
least they'll have
man.
fun.
Now, do Mexican kids really have an appreciation for Marvel toys?
Well,
I
that's
think
any kid.
I think these kids do. A friend of mine, Lee Kilton Smith, and her husband Adam run it, and it's called Friends of El Faro, and they do it, and it's a good organization, But yeah,
Nice.
so
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little jealous of the Mexican kids now.
As you should be.
you get to, they have
I
4
have
different
like-
Spider-Man dolls. They have the
Right.
Night Vision Spider-Man. They have they have the Stick to the Wall and Climb It Spider-Man.
Oh, that's very cool.
They have the I Can
Oh,
Spin a Web
man.
Spider-Man. Then they have the one that can slide down its web. So
Yeah.
all 4 different Spider-Men.
You have no problem with closure.
No,
I
don't
could
know. You're just
never.
like-
I could never do that to any of my stuff. Maybe I'm just because I'm a pack rat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of the worst things that I lost in my divorce is he took my toy collection. And I was really upset about that because,
What kind of
I-
toys, like dildos or like?
again, into the fantasy file for Turtle. No,
Had to go.
no. We are talking about Marvel
Marvel stuff.
characters, and I really like Superman. I'm a big, huge Superman fan. Superman underwear.
You a Supergirl fan?
No, I wasn't really a Supergirl fan. I was a I was Superman. Yeah, I really dig.
Now the
Superman.
question is did you really get into the comic of it where you started to get into the blue Superman, the red Superman, the black Superman?
Yeah,
Or
well-
did you get into the Superman clones?
No,
You
I'm
know.
like an original. I'm
You're
a big
the
fat geek.
original, like,
Yeah.
old school.
Old school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What did you see the new Superman movie?
I did.
Did you
and
like it?
I did. I was really, a lot of people were kind of thrown off by, the theatrics of it.
Right.
I thought it was really well done. All of the characters came into play well, and I was not offended in any way by that movie.
It had great sound,
It did have
It
great
did.
sound.
The cinematography
I think
was
I heard
really good.
right?
about 10 times, maybe more.
I like that.
No,
That was
it was a fun ride. It was definitely a fun ride. The opening scene is worth the price of admission alone. You've never seen Krypton like you've seen that before, and it actually did kind of look like the comic books, which was shocking to me because I was like, if they could ever pull off the comic books, that would be cool. But the fact that they made it all like chainmail and stuff like that, it was like a combination of Dune and the comic and Superman.
All together.
Now,
That's awesome.
if you can direct any comic book,
Scud the Disposable Assassin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Never heard of that.
It's a really rare comic book, actually.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't
So you've
mean
been
to jump the
thinking
gun. Are you
about
going to
that.
ask about comic books? I
No,
thought you
no.
were going to ask about comic books.
No. You went right into the exact,
No, Scud the Disposable Assassin was it's basically the comic sets up the idea that it is a movie, and the comic says that the voice is to be John Malkovich of Scud, and it's basically about a robot where this kid puts a dime in a vending machine, and this robot steps out. And it tells the robot to go kill the monster in this warehouse that it's afraid of. And as it's going to kill the monster, it sees a sign on its back that says, will self-destruct after target is, taken
Terminated.
out. Terminated, exactly. So it shoots the target so that it's almost dead, and then takes it to the, it becomes self-aware, takes it to the hospital and says, hey, just so you know, I'm gonna put this thing on life support. So, how much is it going to cost? And the guy's like, well, it's going to cost you a lot of money. It's like $50,000 a month.
You're like, this is a monster.
Yeah, exactly. And it's in this huge tank, and it looks kind of like a squid or something like that. It's very bizarre. It's very, it has that sort of H.P. Lovecraftian vibe to it. And so the next thing, the second episode of the comic starts with him standing on the side of the road with this sign that says, we'll kill for money. And he's like sitting there going, okay, this is the beginning of my adventure. I need to keep the thing alive so I can stay alive. And it's just a really interesting thing. And I know that at one point they were going to do it back in like the 90s. And I think Jim Carrey was attached and so forth. And I met one of the creators, not the main creator, but the secondary one. And he was kind of living out of this back bungalow in Silver Lake, and basically told me like, you probably will never be able to get the rights or whatever. And I've kept in touch with trying to figure out how to do that at some point. But if I was to say what's the one comic book movie that I could do, it'd be Scud the Disposable Assassin.
Nice.
But with John Malkovich doing the
Right,
voice.
of course.
It would have to be John Malkovich doing the voice.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. And who would play the robot?
Oh, that's John Malkovich.
Even wow. Okay, so I
Yeah,
thought the
yeah.
narrator was John Malkovich.
No. The voice of the robot is John
Okay,
Malkovich.
that's cool.
So, yeah.
Well, we got to get John Malkovich kind of soon. Not saying that he's really old, but we're
Well, he
living
just
on
thinks
limited
everybody's
time.
old lately.
No, I'm just saying we're living on some.
Have you not seen Reds 2?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to remember the last John Malkovich movie I've seen. It's been a while.
1999, being John Malkovich.
I saw that movie.
Oh, that was great.
I think. I'll tell you the last two movies that I saw, which was fairly recent. Saw Kick-Ass 2.
Mm-hmm. How was that?
I loved it. Big fan of I was never a fan of the comic book or anything like that because I never knew about it.
Right.
And then I saw Kick-Ass 1, and it was fully Kick-Ass. I was like, whoa. And then they came out with Kick-Ass 2, so I was just like, all right, I'm going to go see it. So I went, and it was perfect. It really described accurately to me what would it be like if regular human beings were trying to be superheroes.
Yeah.
So I really love the angle, and the girl that plays Hit Girl.
Yeah,
Oh my
she's
God, great actress.
Yeah.
Very believable, and the scenarios that they put her through. I was just like, yeah, like I can't wait for 5 years from now till she's 21, so at least I could say some things or some,
I was about to say, Chloe Grace Moretz is that girl that you look at on screen and you're like, okay, I can't really think any of those thoughts at all.
until she's 21.
Just a child.
I think she's 14.
She's like 15.
She's 15.
15, 16.
Oh, right.
She's still
you
a
really
child.
are like, hopefully, like you're counting that in. Like, oh man, 5 more years.
Yeah, that was just like when with the Olsen twins, there was like a countdown.
We're gonna be
you know what I
burned
mean?
for this. We're gonna be burned
Oh,
for this.
man.
Don't look, everybody. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just saying. You can look at a flower and say, I can't wait for it to blossom because it's going to be even more beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just like Natalie Portman when we saw her in what was that movie?
It was The Professional.
The Professional, and you
Yeah.
looked at her and you were just like, wow, like I can't believe.
Have you seen the 3-hour extended version on that one?
No.
Oh, you should.
Okay.
You should. You really should.
Okay, but
Yeah.
but that's what I'm just like saying. Like you can appreciate a fine piece of work that's is gonna be even finer. You know?
Yeah. No, I totally feel you, man.
I'm not
totally
like
feel you.
I'm no pervert guy.
No, you're just saying, look, you're looking at a piece of art and you're saying, okay, if this person is sculpted, when that person, like, you know,
exactly
comes into their own. Yeah, I get it.
Max, get me out of this now.
No, I'm
Say something.
No, Max is loving the fact that she's got you on the rope.
That's
she's like,
right.
She's
That's
thinking to
right.
herself, she's like, the old jokes this morning, the lesbian
right.
jokes this, you know.
Yep. And now he's paying for it. Now he's a pedophile.
No, do not throw those words out there. Here's the thing, I only date girls that are 21 and over because I can get them drunk. Okay.
Jeez, and then they don't know any better, and
They don't. Then it's just
that's
like,
how it happens.
Wow.
You know what? It's funny. Not that I've been trying to date or anything like that, but so I was out at this bar and I ran into these two girls that I knew. So I'm there and I'm drinking, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done talking with you, you know, because when I go to a bar, I don't go to socialize, I go to drink.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm like, well, I'm going to sit next to you guys. And so as I'm sitting next to them, a guy comes and hits on them. And I'm like, so this is how girls are supposed to be hit on. You know, I was not that I was taking notes or anything like that. But
I think you were.
Because I don't know how to hit on girls. I don't know how to like approach them and just, you know, I wish we lived in a time where it's just like, I like you, you like me, or kind of caveman days, you know, just hit them over the head and be like, all right, you're mine, you know.
It's like that song. I forget which 70s funk band it is, but it's all about troglodytes. And the guy goes, "Gotta have a woman, gotta have a woman, gotta have a woman." It's like, and you hit her over the head and you take her back to your cave. It's such a I totally understand.
So it was, and so afterwards, when the guy left, the girls looked at me and they're like, "Why didn't you save us?" And I was just like, "I wanted to see what would happen." Like, you know, this stuff's
Witnessing
gold.
this.
Yeah, I'm like, I wanted to see how he did it.
You're like, excuse me, but I was taking notes on that. In fact, whether it was a good play or a bad play, I was going to actually write it down and put it in my tally.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because being a girl and going to bars, I don't really drink. So when I'm sitting there and I'm having a nice conversation with, say, you, and some random person comes up and tries to interrupt, and
That's just rude.
First off, it's rude, and when they come up with these lines, it's so tacky. So guys, never ever walk up to a girl, especially if she's in a conversation, and try to throw a line at her, because it's never ever going to work. If you come up and you get involved in the conversation in a friendly way, and aren't interrupting something, that's a little bit better. But key thing here, do not try to touch a woman when she's in a conversation. Don't ever try to come up and oh, hi there, can I, no. Because I will hurt you. I will break your arm if you do that.
This is what I think my new move is going to be. Okay. I'm going to go order a drink right next to the girls, and I'm just going to burp loudly.
Oh.
That's brilliant.
Right?
Actually, that's really brilliant.
And then if they laugh, I'll just be like, oh my God, excuse me. And then boom, conversation.
That's brilliant.
No.
That's the way it should be. Either that or just burp and then
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
absolutely. Either that or I saw you eyeing your pen and you were waving it back and forth. I was like, he's going to talk about goosing them. You just walk up and go, boop. I mean, seriously.
It can happen.
In Japan, it's okay for little kids to goose adults, so why don't we just do it to the
What?
girls? Yeah,
Okay.
totally, it's true.
Really?
You can little kids will goose adults. It's a accepted form of joke behavior.
Well,
That's
gonna
fun.
stay out
I
of
only heard
Japan.
this. I heard this. It was on a program on YouTube,
Oh, that's real.
so we know it's true.
I also heard that they sell girls in vending machines in Japan. So
That's kind of cool.
Okay.
I
They sell underwear in Japan
Exactly.
in vending machines.
Yeah,
so
there
why
you
not
go.
girls?
yeah, they have
It's a whole
really
thing.
weird
girls
stuff
in
there.
underwear.
Yeah.
That would, there you go.
I
Girls
love
in
girls in
underwear,
underwear.
2 for the price of 1.
There you go.
You
In a
know?
vending machine.
In the vending
Right on.
machine.
Absolutely.
Now what
You slide it.
what happens if the girl gets stuck? Are you shaking the machine like, come on, get out? Damn, now I gotta buy 2 girls to get them out.
Hey, then you've got your lesbian fantasy right
Nice.
there.
Done.
Oh,
Well, it's
I wonder
awesome.
how much that would cost.
I don't don't know. I don't have that much money.
Yeah, you know.
We'll see. Do you have money? Do you want to throw over?
Do we know? Can we Google how much it's going to cost for the woman in the vending machine in Japan? I mean, is that like suddenly everybody goes to their phone?
Right. Yep. Yeah, we need our Enter the Shell staff to look that up.
Yeah,
for
our
us.
crack stuff.
Our cracks.
The phone has ruined conversation. And I hate this because it's just like you're always gonna have that one person that's like, I'm gonna fact check that, you know, and they and you're just like, dude, you're messing up my BS, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I used to be king of the BS, and now it's just like I gotta follow the exact reality of realism. It's ridiculous.
That's what you should do. That's how you should interject with women at the bar. You should wait till they're call them on their BS.
No one likes that. I hate that. It's like, excuse me.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, in your second sentence, you stated that Krypton.
I don't know. I met this interesting gal one time who said to me, like, I was joking around and there was a conversation about like reincarnation, and I was like, well, there could be 75 Napoleons running around. So she was like, you know, if you knew the exact number of Napoleons that were running around and you did the census of 1810 and then the census of today, that would be cool. And so, like, I got home. I couldn't stop myself. Of course, it was like 1810. Google. Yeah, okay, that's what that is. Okay, that. And then I called up a friend of mine. Hey, just double check the facts on the math for this for me. Yeah, okay, great. There'd be 90. Got back the text. I love you.
Oh.
I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's the way to do it.
I'm in her pants.
No. Unfortunately, that never happened. But I did get an I love you out of it. So there we go.
There's something.
I love you has lost all its luster these days. Everything is love and amazing. The two, like, it's like those have lost their luster. Every time you're on the red carpet, how's it working with so? It's amazing. It's just like. Can I get some real, like, it was horrible. They had horrible bowel movements.
It was so frothy.
You know?
They forced me to work in that really bad bathroom.
Right? It was hot all the time.
Slumdog Millionaire right here.
Yep.
I've never been to the ones in India, but the ones in Romania, the Romanian countryside at least, they're pretty bad.
Yeah, are they?
Sure. Absolutely. Just literal holes in the ground that get filled up.
Ew.
And, the marble around them is quite nice, though.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Maybe they should just sell the marble.
Yeah, but it's like the marble splatter. You're really not sure just what that dark splatter part is.
Oh, man. Yeah. I always wondered about that because there's always that, that interesting darkness on marble. Like, how did that happen?
Oh, I don't know, but we could Google it
right
now. We can Google it. If I Google it and I send you that, will you tell me you love me?
Possibly.
It'll be fleeting, I assure you.
So, I want to talk about something interesting with you. You are working on a documentary film.
Yes.
With Ron Russell Jackson.
Yes, I'm guilty.
Yeah. Ron is.
In fact, I have to turn him in a promo on Thursday, or I have a feeling his foot will be up my ass.
This is a great promo for it, by the way.
Yeah.
Just turn in this.
Yeah, so Ron owns the Sun Cafe, which is a vegan raw restaurant. It's phenomenal. It's brain food. I've done Nerdy Girls segments out of the Sun Cafe.
Your poop will not be frothy. It will be very firm.
Yeah,
I love firm poop.
And it's nutty, because there's a lot of nuts in there, and there's stuff over there. So tell me about that experience.
Well, what we did is we shot this summer. Starting around February, we started just to randomly shoot certain things that we were interested in, and we were trying to figure out because I primarily eat about 95% raw food. I don't, and most of my food is blended. I don't really eat,
He doesn't chew anymore.
I don't chew
You're
anymore.
over chewing.
Exactly. I'm trying my best to stop chewing altogether. If I could intravenous that shit, it'd all be done.
Just be plasma packs.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Exactly. It'd be total like the TARDIS on your wall there.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, in terms of the raw documentary, it started off because I had a number of various health issue type things going on, and had done it, and miraculously it really works. Like you kind of come out of it feeling rejuvenated, as if somebody has completely given you a new energy jolt compared to when you're eating cooked foods, and especially when you're eating a lot of hamburgers and so forth like that. So it's an all plant-based diet. And in going into it, I basically was like, well, let's just kind of shoot everything at first, and let's kind of make it about the gourmet aspect of it, because Ron's food is quite gourmet. I mean, it's pretty much like my friend said. He goes, I'd do this diet every day if I could eat at Ron's restaurant, but I can't. So I'm going to stick with the salami every once in a while. And no, it has no sexual connotation. Okay. So let's not even go there. But
it's over 21.
Exactly. It is over 20. He is over 21 if you want to meet him.
Done.
Turtle.
Done.
Absolutely. He could probably go to the bar with you with the girls, and you could set up a gay and lesbian session together.
Okay.
Oh, now you've gone too far.
Anyway, so we started to shoot this thing, and we're looking at the raw gourmet aspect of it. And then it got more specialized as we started to talk to John Sally and Mac Danzig. John Sally is a former NBA basketball player. Mac Danzig is a UFC fighter. And these guys a lot of these athletes are using plant-based diets. And they're using plant-based diets to recover quicker, etc. So suddenly it started to become about that. And in a recent development, it turned out that my sister has a really rare immune deficiency disease that has, I think it's the same or the similar one that the Williams sister found out she had, and made her switch to a plant-based diet. So my sister is now having to switch to this, and this whole sort of kismet of events has sort of propelled it forward. And we're finishing the promo this week. And then we'll start to fundraise for it, maybe on Kickstarter, starting next month. But it's actually something that I think it'll help Bono, our friend over there, with smoking.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to stop smoking, Bono's still here in the
Chris Bono.
Right. Yes.
Fully enjoying the experience.
But yes. But so it's that kind of thing. The roundabout way of saying it. Hopefully you guys put the scissors into this.
No, absolutely not. We cut nothing here on the Tortoise
that takes
the
time.
Yeah, we don't do any of that. This is the way it comes out. It's the way everybody hears it.
Oh man,
Yep,
I'm gonna have to start taking speech classes.
No, you're fine. Not at all. But the Sun Cafe, one of my favorite places to have meetings, to just enjoy a good afternoon. That client that I was telling you about that I had that emergency session with over the weekend, his mom, when I walked in, just happened to tell me, I was at this place today. It was called Sun Cafe, and I was like, really? And she goes, oh, I'm totally in love with their food. I want to go back tonight. And I was talking to Ron about that, and he said that people will come 2 to 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And, they just get their fill. And I was going every day, because I would go to the gym, and then I would go and have a power shake over there, the cacao shake. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's my favorite, the cacao. Everybody says the kale shake. Believe it or not, the kale shake is divine, but
it is.
The cacao shake is, if you're a chocolate lover.
Oh
it's
my
awesome.
God.
Kale is in right now, if I could just say.
Fantastic.
Like, I've known so many restaurants right now that are doing a lot of stuff with kale.
Yeah. I think they're over-kaling.
Really?
They're killing the kale. We're going to have like a kale deficit or something soon. It could happen.
It could.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's true.
You eat a lot of kale?
I do. But the thing is, I mix it up. I think the key to it all is to really mix it up. You got to take your chard. It sounds so terrible. I'm going to eat some chard today.
Well, chard.
Sounds like cow food or something. But you take your chard one day. You take your spinach one day. In fact, you really can't overdo it with spinach, because there's certain acidic buildup. It's the one green plant that'll give you heavy acids. So you got to switch that up with kale, and then toss in avocado, toss in broccoli, toss in. Sounds gross, but it's actually delicious.
Right.
It's really delicious.
Unless you have a sensitive system, you got to be careful.
True. If
Yeah.
you have a sensitive system, it's all about bananas. It's
That's true. That is
I love that you're a director talking about nutrition.
true. Right. Well,
That's great. This is great.
Hey man, I had no clue what to expect coming into this thing, and I was like, yeah, I'll just roll with the punches. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Now you got to see the experience in its full experience. You got to see our two guests.
Yes.
And now you're in the experience.
Yes.
Was this anything like you thought would manifest?
Not at all. Not at all. It's actually, well, I'm actually a fan of Before the Morning.
Oh, really?
I like them. Yeah, I found them. I think I found them through SoundCloud, and then I found them on Spotify again because I surf music
Right.
like no tomorrow. Like I'm a big fan of multiple genres, and it was one of those things, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool. I get to kind of sit back, and you don't really get to talk to them
Yeah.
too much, but you're like going, yeah, I like you guys.
yeah.
Did you get a photo with them or anything?
I
Yeah, we
think we
did.
did the group photo over there,
Right.
but
That's it.
I'm a little bit of a.
You should have told us.
I'm a slight bit of a shy guy. I don't really, throw out this stuff like, "Hey, yeah, I've been watching you guys. I'd like to do a music video with you guys."
See?
No, but my favorite music videos never have the band in them. There's just like it's always like sort of a short story type stuff. But I like them, and then Mr. Bono over there, Chris Bono. This guy over there, I've seen him perform live before, so he's very funny. So to be able to sit on the couch and laugh when you're the only audience member,
Right.
really
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
so
good
cool.
thing. Yeah, it's totally
yeah,
good.
Turtle and I are really blessed, to do this job and to get to talk to all of these people and sit back and some of the stuff that rolls out of their mouths, it's freaking priceless. you know?
It's a lot hotter in here than I thought it was. gonna
Well,
be.
yeah.
Like sitting over there in the shade, I was thinking, why are they all bitching about how hot it is? And then I get over here and I'm like, oh my
Right under the spot. It's hot in here. Yep.
It all goes back to studios are always hot. You know,
Right.
it
Yep.
doesn't matter what kind of studio you're in; they're always hot. It's because air conditioning. If you want quality audio, you can't have air conditioning because it's all just going to seep in.
right.
It's like a whole thing.
True.
It's my homage to studios.
It's gonna be your thing with the new pool that comes in.
I
And,
hope.
Yeah.
Then you get a big swim along at the end.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
instead of a sing along.
It's gonna happen.
Synchronized swimming or something. Well, actually, me and the photographer Denim, we were actually talking about putting up a pool on top of the roof.
Oh, that's
You
Oh,
know.
good luck with that.
Yeah.
smart. Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure Miguel's gonna have a problem with that.
Why? It was the roof.
Because, well, there's a loft in here, and I think he sleeps close to that roof. So
Yeah, but if we put it like on this end, keep it on this side by the
I
green
don't
room.
know.
Well, so, I mean, it's just talk.
It's an
just
idea.
talk.
It's
just
a good idea.
Ideas getting thrown
I
out
think
there.
I think you should go for it. You should totally go for it.
Right.
And you should somehow manage to have like, the Swedish bikini team.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, we could work
Or
that out.
like, all 12 playmates
That'd
or
be nice.
whatever,
Yeah.
right up there. It's
Okay.
a great
Yeah, so
way
you
to
missed our last show where we had Penthouse.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. There you
and Sam Phillips,
Yeah,
go. Right on.
the extremely hot Sam
very
Phillips.
hot. Look great for her age. I was just like, man, you're so hot still.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've known Sam all of her life. Not all of her life, but I've known her for a long time.
Wait a minute. Does this go back to the Chloe Moretz and the Natalie Portman thing?
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
starting to see a pattern here.
Yes, I like hot girls. That's my pattern.
I was going to say young girls, but you like hot girls.
Yeah.
What's your definition of a hot girl?
I don't know. I just can look at a girl and be like, "Yep, hot." You
Yeah.
know, it's just like
What is it?
I don't. I have to
define that.
see it. I have to see it.
What
you
about
know?
you? Do you have
You have
something
to-
that like?
Definition of hot?
Yeah.
Yes, it is sweltering right now. That's true. I agree with you. Chris Bono has just pointed out that it's sweltering. Definition of a hot woman. A woman has to be funny for me to like her. If a woman's not funny, then like I generally don't gravitate toward her. If a woman's not, but I mean, the beauty aspect of it comes into play too. But then again, I see a range of.
Well, I don't think we're talking about relationship here.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Like, I'm
about like
no,
what's
yeah,
no.
I'm like, am I gonna actually
But I
get
mean,
there, like,
okay.
when I-
If you were to be crass about it, I would say that after you've had your crazy wild times, you want to be able to crack up with the person,
of course,
and then go back into crazy and wild. So it's it's
Yeah,
it's
the
good to have
perfect
somebody
mix.
with a sense of humor around, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, and also the other thing is, I mean, if she laughs and at all the right moments, then you can't help but smile. So
Yeah. You know what's funny? I never knew how to laugh before. Yeah, I know. Isn't that strange? My parents were very conservative. So, I'm Egyptian and Swedish, and my household was very stern. So it was.
So it's like tyrannical Nazi Germany.
Well, yeah, a little bit, So I wasn't allowed to basically speak. If you're a girl, you speak when spoken to.
Right.
So laughing is out of the question. So I would, laugh to myself. So I never knew how to do that. And it took a long time to figure out how, to laugh out loud.
Wow. I'm like, now I want to hear you laugh. Like,
And
Turtle's
it's funny 'cause-
going, man, I was laughing all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit. Just like- I was just being happy, That was me.
Yeah, well, different cultures.
Very different cultures, which is why we are the tortoise and the hare.
That's right.
Two extremely different perspectives, which I like. Dude, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, now, I don't have any links for you, but I was able to cyber stalk you.
Oh, wow.
And I found your IMDb, and I found a LinkedIn, and I'll have those on the show notes. So if anybody wants to get in contact with you, whether
Totally.
they want to talk to you about kale or or that cafe or or Sun Cafe or interested in helping you out with your documentary, they can get you there. So
Or if they want to book you to shoot a music video.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
you
right
are
on.
flipping brilliant at that. I just want to say.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Just throwing it out there.
yeah, just out there. So we'll have all the links on the show notes for Abram Cox. Max, that's gonna wrap it up for this experience.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty hot show.
It was a hot show. What should we name this show?
I think there's only one name for this.
Okay,
Froth.
we'll call it the frothy. The hot froth experience show, or maybe the hot froth show. What do you think? Want to throw in
The hot froth experience sounds pretty good.
Okay, the
it
hot
sounds
froth.
like it sounds like Jimi Hendrix had a bowel movement. I mean,
Oh, man.
or coffee. That's a good one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, people are gonna be like hot froth. Oh, it must be about coffee. You are in for a wrong turn immediately.
Yeah, immediately. But, that's the way we
This
like it.
episode is all about how to get Turtle back to solid.
Yes. Yes. Our guest has been Abram Cox. Like I said, we'll have the show notes so you can get in contact with them through LinkedIn or through IMDb if you want to book them for a music video, if you're interested in the wide variety of subjects that we talked to him about.